Okay, what's up guys? Here's what I've got so far. As you can see, I just made a straight line, well, roughly straight, down this pipe. I measured 6 inches from the end. The pipe from here to the end is 48 inches. So I measured 6 in from the end, 6 in from the end, then divided it by 4, so it gave me 9. So I spaced them at 9 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 11/32 drill bit. That's what it says to do on these chicken waterers nipples. And it says to just drill them in large hole using 11/32 drill. Start threading the nipple into the hole manually. Use a crescent wrench to tighten. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I drilled the holes. My math was a little off. So for some reason I divided this whole situation by 5 when I only have 4. Oh well, I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, they're pretty equally spaced out for chickens, so you can tell that it's going to leave a little burr. This right here is a burr. It's just a lip on your holes from where you drill. What I normally do is I'll just take a knife, an X-Acto knife, and just run it around the rim. That'll just clean it up a little bit, and that way you can thread them in. So that's what I'm going to do real quick with this. Let me see. Sorry, doing this one-handed. So basically all I do is just kind of just rotate the knife around it like that. See, here we go again. It cleans them up. Just put your blade in there, not a lot of pressure, and it'll clean it up for you. Let me do this last one. Run it at kind of a 45-degree angle. And see that? Cleans them up pretty nice. Make sure you shake all the debris out, because there's going to be all that debris in there. But now we can move on to just threading these in. Okay, so now I'm going to try to just thread this end in. It's got a little clear gasket, so hopefully it seats in properly. Let's see what we can do. Try to put it in there straight as we can to get it started. Okay, I got it started. Ah, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this off camera because I can't hold this. Okay, as you see there, guys, I had to use a threader to put threads in here. I think maybe because it's a schedule 40, it's thick. These little things here, for whatever reason, won't focus, whatever. These threads won't thread in, so then I had to make my own threads. See, now it's wanting to thread properly. So I'm going to go through and do that to all of them. So here we go. Took me some work to get this. I mean, good Lord. It says that you could use it on a PVC pipe, but I'm guessing maybe they are thinking something thinner than a Schedule 40. So as you can tell, it's pretty thick. Luckily, I have access to a threader, so I just threaded it to a 3/8 hole, and now they're nice and snug. So now we're on to the end. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, here's the next part of what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna use irrigation line. That's this right here. Instead of using just a regular hose, I'm gonna use that. And I bought this, which is a 2-inch to 3/4 inch thread. That way I can screw a standard size hose adapter into here. And then I got a 2-inch coupler that'll fit on the end of this pipe. That'll allow this to be accepted into it. And then these, they just fit into the end of your irrigation line. So that way you can turn your irrigation line into basically a hose as well. So that's what's gonna be the setup I'm gonna use from the barrel to the actual tube that the chickens are going to drink from. So I've never done it before, not sure if it's going to work, but you know, you got to try it. So let's put it together. Here's what I got so far. That's going to be my connector at the end. And then this will go from the valve on my rain barrel. It'll connect into this, and hopefully the gravity will just pull it into here. So we'll see. This is what I ended up with for trying to turn this irrigation line into a hose. It's just a 5/8 female metal mender. It's an adapter. I should have got 1/2 inch, but I couldn't find any, and I'm just trying to do with what I got. So this is 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this heat gun, put some heat on the end of this, and then try to get it big enough that this will slide over top of it. And it comes just with a little adjustable crimp. So let's see how it works. Well, this lets you know, don't buy cheap. I went ahead and bought the plastic one and went to twist it, and this is what happened. Snapped right off. Now all this rainwater is just going to be leaking right there. So basically I'm just going to let it run out and then get a brass one, thread it in. So I'm going to be installing this new brass one that I bought instead of that crappy plastic one. And I don't have any pipe tape or anything, so I'm just going to use this silicone. I did it to the last one and it held pretty good, so that's just what I'm going to do, make and do with what I have. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to thread it, get some of that silicone in the threads and stuff. So here we go. with, so it's not pretty, but it held last time, so hopefully it'll hold this time. I'm gonna do the same thing on the inside. So let's see if it'll work, right girls? What do you think? I wanted to finish this video up. I finally got the new bit put on. It's brass. Here's the drain downspout from my pole barn. Comes in. Got a little cold last night, so got a little bit of ice in there, but I have irrigation line running over here. And they're already using it. It's working out good, guys. Pretty simple process. Just make sure you don't go cheap on that water valve on the tank, because that's what I did and it kicked me in the butt. So, but yeah, the only other issue I'm running into is keeping this from freezing. It froze last night, so I had to take this coupler off right there so that way the line could de-thaw. There's still ice in the tube, but it still is letting water come out of those nipples. So I think what I'm gonna do, I seen on another video, is I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna thread that end cap with a connector so I could hook a hose to it, probably run the hose back to the tank, then put a small inline pump here so that I can have a continuous recirculating water flow, and then I'll just come from here with an extension cord and drop like a water trough heater in there, and hopefully that'll keep the water warm enough that when it circulates through, that it'll keep it from freezing up on me in the winter. I'm hoping now that here in Ohio, I'm hoping that we're past needing anything to keep it from freezing, but just to be ready for next winter. I'm probably gonna be rebuilding the chicken coop. This was a old one I've been using. I'm gonna move the coop, the chickens, probably to the back of this barn here and give them a nice long run. And then I'm probably gonna cut in right here. I'm gonna cut in a slider. I'm gonna cut these trees out. I'm gonna cut in a slider into the side of this barn and have access to the pole barn from the back here, because I already had a guy come out. He's gonna be installing a farm fence around all of this. Across this creek right here is another pasture that I own that's already fenced in, so we're gonna put some cows in there, and then when we get this fence done in the next few months, I'm gonna build a bridge across this creek and put a gate on this pasture so the cows can come over here, and then I'm gonna open this up so that they'll have a way to get into the barn. But it's a work in progress. We just bought this place, so this big pile of junk right here used to be an old barn back in the 1900s, so there's a foundation. I'm gonna have to get a dozer and skim that foundation out, and I'm probably just gonna push all that dirt somewhere into a pile, probably down here in this low spot, and then make a backstop for a shooting range. But other than that, guys, I think this rain barrel chicken waterer system, it's gonna work for me. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.